thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with part 5 of The Beginning of Masonry by Frank C. Higgins. The Ancient Mysteries. The Ancient Mysteries is a modern term invented for the purpose of gathering under a single specific classification all the curious rites, ceremonies, and ritualistic allusions of pre-Christian ages, which are described to us in classic works. None of these documents enlighten us upon other than the externals. They tell us far less of what transpired in ancient temples of initiation than the curious bystander may learn of modern masonry by mere dint of keeping his ears upon it. While analogies without end are discernible between our own secret work and some of the traditions of ancient initiations, what has been held back for the advancement of science during our present age to reveal has been the fundamental philosophy of which these ceremonies were merely illustrative. Up to a few years ago, the dramatic action of the ancient mysteries was, so far as anyone was able to tell, give a reasonable explanation of it, completely devoid of sense, but the penetration of European savants into the wealth of Oriental sacred and philosophical literature has unlocked a mine of precious information before unimaginable. No matter who or what constituted the prehistoric population of ancient Europe and Asia Minor, the fact is, it was always inferior to and doomed to disappear or be absorbed by the great Indo-Germanic invasions which swarmed westward at intervals from a central home. Somewhere at the foot of the Hindu Kush Mountains, extensive invasions of both white and yellow Asiatics were successive and continuous over many hundred years. The last on record was that of Huns under Attila, if we accept the Turks. They must have begun, however, at least 5,000 to 7,000 years before the Christian era. It was when this Aryan people was still locked up in the bosom of Central Asia that the mind of man first began to speculate in the higher mathematics, and the beginning of science began to supplant mere childish wonder and barbarish fetishism. Mathematics and geometry joined to an ardent pursuit of astrology in regions most favorable to observation, where only the naked eye was to be depended on, were made the basis of all human speculation upon the nature and attributes of the infinite. It must be remembered that it was only well within the Christian era that every human consideration was supposed to be dependent upon planetary influences, that the entire science of medication consisted in the selection of plant, animal, and mineral substances, which because of their planetary affinities would counteract human ills. For thousands of years, nothing could be begun, pursued, or finished without consulting the stars for propitious occasions, and so a vast system of philosophy was gradually built up of those three scientific ingredients. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.